What's going on, everyone? It's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you another Super Coach video today. Round 23 is over, second last round for the season. And yeah, I'm glad FPL started. It hasn't been a great couple weeks for me. And with news already, it doesn't look like it's going to be a great round 24 because basically they've come out and said Jeremy McGovern is most likely not playing this week. Sheasel has been ruled out, and Tim English is same as McGovern, basically more unlikely than likely to not be playing this week. So I've got three people out and no bench cover really. So it's going to be a struggle, but it is what it is. So today we're going to go through how my team went last week, and we'll go on to DFS Australia and try and pick out the best captains for you in round 24. If you are in grand finals, in drafts, or in classic, good luck for that. Hopefully you can win. One thing that I will not be doing this year, unfortunately. So just quickly before I get into the socials, then into the video itself. Supercoach NBL has opened, and the Breakevens does have a league for you. So if you're into Supercoach NBL and you want to join a league, it's unlimited. So as many people as we can get in. The code is 278946. Again, 278946 for Supercoach NBL. I don't really follow the NBL strongly. So, it's just fun playing something a little bit different where, Supercoach, I feel like I have a good feel on all the players, where NBL, not so much. So it's a good, fresh experience. So with that done, let's get into the social. So you can find me on Twitter at BreakevensPod, on Facebook, the Breakevens Facebook page, and of course here on YouTube. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on all of those. Really appreciate the support. We've got Supercoach. This is second or third last week. I'll be doing a video for Supercoach AFL. But what will happen is I will do the FPL, which there's a video that I'm going to record after this. So keep an eye out for that. Lots of things happening. I won't be doing any NBL content on YouTube. That will be all on Twitter. So again, at Breakevens Pod. That'll basically just be my team, my thoughts, trades, everything each and every week. So FPL will be on here every week, sometimes twice, depending on the fixtures. So how did my team, my Supercoach team for AFL go in round 23? Let's find out. So here you have it, 2,239. With a donut, I would like to point that out. That is with a donut and one or two rookies on field. So not great. Dropped 2,000 ranks, and I'm getting close to that 10,000 mark, which is very disappointing. But I took the risks early, and that made me short for the back end, and unfortunately it's all gone down the drain. So it is what it is. But I had a big opportunity to still score decently. It's just, it just didn't work out. But hey, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? So I'll click over to the team, show you how it went, and then we'll get into the vice captain and captains. So here we are. As you can see, some great scores, a lot of bad scores, and a DNP. So let's go through it. Jerry McGovern, 92. You'll take that. Obviously, you'd like a bit more, but looks like he's missing this week. Nick Martin 135 had a great game. I'm very happy that I kept him. Luke Ryan 68, very poor, and it doesn't look like Alex Pearce is back, so could potentially have another low score. Dacos 116 was good, absolutely dominated that second quarter. Max Holmes 73 has had a role change since I got him in, so that really hurts. And the Fish returned with 102, which I was happy with. Bont 123, you'll take it. Obviously, you want a bigger score, but it is what it is. Butters 156 will take that, and same with Tom Green 143. Zachy Merritt at 74. A bit underwhelming. Dunkley 108, you'll take. Goulden 84. He should have torn up against Collingwood. But again, it is what it is. Rosie 96 and Walsh 98, not bad. Gore 97 and Jackson 84. Again, you want more there. And obviously English is not playing. And as you can see on my bench, Sheasel is not playing this week. Flanders 120, you definitely take that. Zorko 108. I was expecting a little bit more, but a ton's a ton, especially in that forward line. Heaney 117, Jai Caldwell 102. Dowling didn't play, and McMullen probably shouldn't have played anyway. It was worthless. So that's how my team fared. So a lot of disappointments. Still got 2-2, but could have easily been a 2-4. So okay, let's look over to the right hand side and quickly just go through my early thoughts on captains before we get into DFS. So Melbourne versus Collingwood. First up, you think Dacos or Gawn will be a favoured one there. Geelong versus West Coast. I have Holmes, wouldn't really go there, to be honest. If you had a Jeremy Cameron, potentially. Richmond versus Gold Coast. Basically, go any of those Gold Coast mids. It's pretty simple. Rao, Anderson, or Flanders, who is another good one there. I'd probably prefer Flanders over the other guys just because he's been a bit more consistent. Hawks versus North. Tristan Cherry. If you have Cherry, you jump on him. Wouldn't really jump on anyone else because Sheasel's not playing. Brisbane versus Essendon. Again, Neils, Zorkos, Dunkleys. Get them in there. And I probably wouldn't go any Essendon guys this week. It's not a great matchup. Swans versus Adelaide. You got Heaney there. Does Warner come back? Who knows? Gordon could pull out a big one here. We'll see what DFS says for those wingers though. And Adelaide, you probably wouldn't go any Adelaide guys. If we're being honest, Bulldogs versus GWS. Bond could go well. GWS are a tough matchup in that midfield though. Caleb Daniel was back, so he wouldn't go a Bailey Dale as a smoky. For GWS, you got Tom Green, who's been on a heater the last 3 to 4 weeks. Could be an option, but again, Bulldogs are a tough matchup. Carlton versus St Kilda. You look at your halfbacks. Your Nick Newmans, your Jack Sinclairs, Nazaya, Wangaleen Miller's, your Cripps, your Walshes. That's where you're going. And then Freo versus Port. It's going to be a big game. Freo playing to solidify a spot in the 8. So your Sarongs could go massive. Sean Darcy isn't a certainty to play. So Jackson could actually do well if as a solo ruck, but Liam Reedy was in last week, and as we saw, Jackson only got an 84. So basically not really going anyone other than Sarong for Freo. And Port, you got Butters and Rosie, who I really like. So my early thoughts, it's either Dacos or Flanders into Butters for mine. I'm not sure if Neil Bullen's playing. If he is, that hurts Dacos a little bit because he could run with him. So I'm going Flanders just because it's against Richmond. He's a halfback. He should tear it up. And Butters against Freo. I'm not I'm not going to go Dunkley or Zorko against the Bombers. Could go a Heaney. Don't like the matchup for Bont, but it's Bont. And I don't really want to put a captain on Walsh. So got to go that last game. And Jackson and Ryan are out of the equation. And it's between Butters and Rosie. And I just think Butters will do better. So, yep, that is what it is. McGovern's not playing. So I'm going to have a donut there. Jackson's here. If Dowling plays, I should have almost a full team. So if McMullen can keep his spot, but not a great week last week, so could easily lose his spot. And yeah, I'm in trouble there. So let's go to the DFS to go through those captain options now. All right, so here we are, DFS, the last five. Let's go through the game. So on Friday night, you have Melbourne versus Collingwood. So we'll go to Collingwood, key forward. So realistically, if you're going for a Melbourne play, it's going to be the ruck. So plus 3.67 there. So Gawn could do very well against Darcy Cameron. Inside mids, there's no Oliver, there's no Petrarca. If you have Viney in a draft final, you could definitely look there. But basically anywhere else, you're not looking at a Melbourne player. So Gawn could do well there. As we move to Melbourne, inside mid, so plus 10. So that's great for Dacos. Oliver's out as well. Does Cozzy Pickett go in there? Does Neil Bullen tag? That's the big one. So it does look good for Dacos. It's just, will he cop that tag? And apart from Dacos, you're not really going anywhere for Collingwood. So Gawn or Dacos in that one. Saturday, you got the Cats versus the Eagles. So let's look at anyone for the Eagles. Does anyone have any Eagles players? If you've got Harley Reid, it's a good fixture, but you're not really going to VC him. So let's jump to West Coast. Key forwards, Jeremy Cameron could look the goods in this as a smoky. Any other general forwards? Probably not. Inside mids. Do we have any inside mids if Max Holmes plays in there? The ruck's the big one, but again, do we have any Geelong rucks? Probably not. So I won't be looking at Geelong for any VC or Cs in for this week. Next is Richmond versus Gold Coast. So look at Gold Coast first. Key forwards, we don't have any Richmond guys there. If you have if someone's got a Bolton plus 1.73, yeah, your Riolis and your Jaden Shorts are going to do well here. If you have like a Vloshton, if Noah Bolter plays in defense in your draft leagues, could look towards him. We move to Richmond. Inside mids plus 7.47. So that's what I was talking about with your Rouse, Andersons. If you still have Miller, attacking defenders and designated kickers, there's a boost. So that's where Flanders comes into it. I like Flanders in this, but my smoky would be on Anderson. So definitely an option there. Hawks versus the Roos. Look at the Hawks. And they're a tough matchup, except for the ruck. So we've got Tristan Cherry, who's been absolutely dominating. You'd probably put a VC on him once again, but no one else. And we move to North. tough for the defenders, and it's only your forwards for Hawthorn. So if you ever did Dylan Moore, could look to target him here. But again, are we really going to? You'd probably prefer Cherry. Lions versus the Bombers. So let's look at the Lions first. And unless it's a general defender or a possibly designated kicker, you're not really looking at any Bombers guys. So realistically, you have Nick Martin. And the Bombers inside mids minus 1.36. Again, one of Neil Dunkley's going to pop off. Attacking defenders, which really isn't Zorko too much. It is a little bit +4, but those designated kickers, it hurts a little bit. So in that game, a Martin or a Neil or Dunkley, I think Swans versus Adelaide. So against Adelaide, inside mids +2, which is great. And attacking defenders or wingers -1. So really, I think you're only looking at Isaac Heaney. As we move to Sydney, the rucks generally have an Adelaide ruck. Inside mids, it's about a 50-50. Designated kickers, so maybe a Mitch Hinge could go off here, but you're not going there with Mitch Hinge. Dogs versus Giants. Giants are a tough matchup and everywhere. Bont could go off. You got Trelaw there, but that's why I said I'm not going Bont this week, just because it is that tough of a matchup, and it's the same for the Giants. Against the Doggies, unless you're a ruckman or possibly a designated kicker. So those with Lockie Whitfield could have a field day there. So that could actually be a really good smoky. Unfortunately, I don't have him. Carlton versus the Saints. Tough matchup all around if you're a Saints man. So definitely not going there. And against St Kilda, attacking defenders, +22. So you Nick Newman's. It's looking pretty good. I'm not going to lie. If you have Nick Newman, I would consider him as a smoky. But we moved to Freo and Port in the last game against Freo. So +4 for the Port guys. And designated kickers. Well, Houston's out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So inside mids, your Rosies or Butters. And against Port, here inside mids -7. So it is going to be tough for Freo because Port have been so strong. But again, they're fighting for a spot in the 8 and potential finals. So your Sarongs could go off and you're not really going anywhere. So yeah, not a lot of games for captain options. Obviously, the Uber Primos, they can always do their thing any given day, so you could always back them. But yeah, it's definitely for me, it's a Dacos or Flanders into Butters. But if you have Cherry, I think Cherry is a good get. So that's the VCs and Cs for this week. All right, and that's going to do us for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. One more week. Next week will just be how my team went that week, and then probably first week of finals, I want to do an overall season review. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for FPL content. I'm recording a video straight after this one, so keep your eyes peeled for this week and weeks going forward. Don't forget, if you are interested in NBL Supercoach, we have a Supercoach League 278946 if you would like to join that. If you have any questions or queries or like the content I'm putting out, make sure you follow us on our socials. So that is on Twitter /X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, the Breakevens Facebook page, and here on YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe on all of those. That's it. So until next week, good luck if you're in any grand finals. Hopefully you get up. And let me know in the comments on Sunday if you do. So that's it. Thank you again. And until next time, it's bye for now.